Hello, welcome back to my channel, or welcome to my channel if you're new here. My name is Emma. In today's video, as you can probably tell from the title and from the thumbnail, I'm going to be talking about autumn/fall trends that I'm loving for 2025. As always, I do just want to say that I am calling this a autumn trends video. However, these are just things that I'm personally loving for this season. Some of these things might be on trend, some of these are just random things. Some things claim to be trends, but I feel like come back around every autumn season. So yeah, this is just going to be me talking you through everything that I'm loving for autumn, things that I'm gravitating towards. Some of these things I already own and I'm already incorporating in my outfits, and some of these stuff is just things that I've seen online and on other people that I'm really drawn to. As I talk through these things, I will insert some inspiration photos just so you can kind of see what I'm talking about, just to help give you some visuals in case I'm not explaining myself very well. But yeah, if you do enjoy trends videos and you do enjoy this video, I'd love it if you give this video a thumbs up. Let me know anything that you're loving for the autumn season down below, and if you're new to my channel, I'd love it if you could subscribe. But without further ado, let's just get on into the trends. Okay, so the first thing I want to mention is beaded jewelry, particularly like beaded necklaces, and I mean something like the one I'm wearing today. This is new in my wardrobe. I got it from Stradivarius via ASOS. I will link it down below. It comes in a little set. For the past couple of months, I haven't really been gravitating towards much jewelry. I've been just wearing very simple jewelry, just like a simple hoop and then just my wedding ring, and I've kind of been loving that. But I'm kind of getting back into jewelry a little bit, just adding a little bit of flair and a bit of flavor to an outfit. And I'm particularly loving beaded necklaces, particularly for the autumn season, in like an orangey brown tortoiseshell sort of tone. I wear a lot of like quite basic clothing and a lot of like neutral colors, so just adding a little pop of color with a beaded necklace I think is really fun. Like here I'm just wearing like a long white sleeve top, and then I've just got this like orangey beaded necklace on, and I think it just adds a really nice flair to outfits. I think it adds a little bit of personality, a little bit of color, and yeah, I feel like especially in this kind of season I'm drawn more to my basic pieces in my wardrobe, so just adding something interesting with just a beaded necklace I think looks really fun. I have seen ones with like pendants on them and like bit more like big and bold, but I like a more classic, just simple colourful bead necklace. I think they look really cool. And yeah, I feel like I'm slowly coming back into like accessorizing my outfits more. I feel like for the past couple of months, maybe the past year, I've been more like simple with my accessories, but I feel like I'm definitely coming back into wanting to go a little bit bolder with accessories and with jewelry, and I think beaded necklaces are just a really fun way to do that. I also really love when people wear like coats done up and they have like just the necklace underneath the collar, just for a little bit of detail on top of the coat. I think that looks really cool, and something I'll probably get into more like towards the end of autumn, beginning of winter, when it gets to like coat season. But yeah, I'm really loving beaded jewelry at the moment, and like and as you can see, I've already invested in some. I think it's really fun and just adds an extra little flair to an outfit. Next, I kind of want to talk about a color combination that I'm really loving, and that is the combination of blue and brown. I have kind of seen this creeping in a little bit throughout the summer, and now I'm seeing a lot of like brown and blue, particularly striped pieces, in a lot of knitwear and like argyle patterns, and I really love the color combination. I feel like this is a really fun color combination for me to play around with in my wardrobe, because they're both quite neutrals. I find I wear quite a lot of blue. I don't own a lot of brown, but I feel like brown is a color that I would wear and call my wardrobe, and I just really love the color combination. Specifically, like I said, in a stripe, I've seen quite a few like stripy brown and blue knits. Could be something more simple as just like wearing a blue jean and a brown knit. I just really love the colour combination. I particularly quite like though a baby blue, which isn't necessarily like a colour that comes to mind automatically when you think of autumn, with a brown. I think that looks really cute. Actually, I just got this phone case. This is like a blue and brown phone case, and I think that's really cute. So yeah, I just really love that colour combination. It's something I'm really gravitating towards. And I think it's definitely something I can do now with my wardrobe without just a pair of blue jeans and a brown bag. But definitely I think I will look into like a blue and brown striped knit or something. I've seen quite a few. I think Mango have quite a few. And I think it's just a really nice colour combination, and something a little bit more out there but not too bold for someone who wears a lot of neutrals. So yeah, I really love that colour combination particularly. I've been seeing it quite a lot and I'm really drawn to it. Okay, and then the next thing I kind of want to talk about is kind of like a broad category, and I've got a couple of things within this category, but that is interesting trousers is what I'm going to call it. What I mean is basically just a trouser that's in like a slightly different fabric or a different print. Coming into autumn, I feel like I'm definitely gravitating back towards suede, and particularly this season I'm loving the look of like a suede trouser. I think they look really cool with like a little black turtleneck, specifically in like a tan suede like vintage trouser. I think look really cool. I am definitely on the hunt for a pair secondhand because I feel like it's definitely something I could probably find secondhand, because I know they're not the most practical for the weather, especially here in the UK because we do get quite a lot of rain in autumn. But I'm really loving the look of like a suede pant. Also corduroy. I'm really gravitating towards corduroy trousers. I do actually have a pair of black corduroy trousers that I bought a couple of years ago. And I feel like when the weather gets a little bit cooler, I'm definitely going to be cracking them out. I think it's just like a fun texture to play with, like just like a plain black trouser. I mean, I think cord can look good in like, I really like olive corduroy. I also really like a tan or brown corduroy. But just having something a little bit more interesting in a trouser just to jazz up an outfit. Like I say, I gravitate towards a lot more of my basic pieces in the autumn season. So just having something to like elevate the outfit and make it slightly different, like switching out just a plain black trouser for like a corduroy black trouser, I think is going to be really fun to play with. On a similar note, I've also been loving like a printed pant, particularly in an animal print. There's a picture of Olivia Rodrigo in like a leopard print pant with a long sleeved red top, and that outfit lives rent-free in my mind. I think those trousers look really cool. I think it's also something really fun for like evening wear. I always struggle with evening wear in the colder months, but then I think like a fun printed pant with just like a plain black jumper, just like a fitted black jumper or something like that, looks really cool. And so yeah, I really love the look of printed pants. Like I said, I think I will stick to more the textured pants just because I'm not sure how much wear I would get out of a printed leopard print or like a snake print pant particularly. I really like the look of snake print at the moment, which we'll get into later on. Yeah, just like a fun trouser, just like a straight trouser and like a corduroy, a fun animal print or a suede. I think just it looks really cool, and it's just a really fun way of dressing for autumn and just jazzing up the outfit a little bit and adding those new textures and tones, but just being a little bit more interesting with your trousers rather than just opting for just a plain black trouser or a pair of jeans. Carrying on from that, like I said, I'm really loving like an animal print, and I'm specifically loving snake print, but particularly in shoes, and I am on the lookout for a pair of snake print shoes. I have an idea in my mind of what I want. I will try find like some sort of imagery to insert so you can kind of see what I'm thinking. I haven't seen anything that I particularly really love. There was a pair of snake print mules on H&M that I did like the look of, but I don't know if they're real leather, so I don't know if that's good. I have seen a pair on M&S. They're in like a promo shop photo for like some trousers, but I can't find the shoes online, so I'm not sure if they're coming soon. But yeah, I'm really loving a snake print shoe. Again, because I'm gravitating towards basics, I think just having a fun shoe to jazz up the outfit worked really nicely, and I'm just particularly gravitating towards snake print this season, specifically in like a darker snake print rather than a light, but just to add like a little bit of flair to an outfit. And I feel like because snake print is more of a neutral, it would work really well with everything in my wardrobe. So yeah, I'm definitely on the hunt for a snake print shoe. I just have to find the perfect ones, because I kind of want one that covers my foot. I don't want you to be able to see skin, so I don't want like a ballet flat or anything like that. I'm kind of almost thinking like a little ankle boot or some sort of loafer, but we will see. But I'm just really loving snake print shoes. I think they look really cool. Just add a little bit of an interest to an outfit. Well, the next trend that I want to talk about is something that I don't particularly love myself, but I've kind of found a way to adapt it for myself. So I have seen a lot of polo neck sweatshirts and jumpers all over the internet, and I think they look really cool on other people. I, however, personally, I just don't think polo necks work for me, but I think they look really cool, like especially in like that rugby style with stripes. I'm really loving seeing that on other people. For me personally, I'm kind of going with a similar theme, but with like a Henley style. So the polo shirt just without the collar part, but it still has the buttons. I recently picked up a jumper from Zara which I'm absolutely obsessed with. Like, it's got a little button detailing here so you can open it up, and I think that's how I'm going to approach it, rather than like the typical polo shirt, going for more of a Henley shape, because I think that just works better for me and fits my more personal style. I feel like it's a little less preppy, so I feel like a Henley is going to be a little bit more timeless for me, whereas I feel like polo shirts are a little bit more trendy. But I'm really loving the look of polo shirts on other people. I think just for me, I'm going to stick to more of a Henley style. I've always gravitated towards a Henley. I have a couple of tops with like a Henley detail in my wardrobe. That's like the Zara jumper that I've got with the little button detailing. You can obviously do the buttons up, or what I really like is just putting a little white t-shirt on underneath, so you get that element of layering. And I really like the idea that you can layer underneath like something with a little bit of a button neck detailing and undo the buttons, just to like add a little bit of extra interest to the outfit with a bit more layering. And I think it's a really fun way to play around with layering as well. And yeah, I just like the more casual style of like that little button detailing at the neck can give a jumper or sweatshirt. It just like adds a little bit of added detail. So yeah, I'm just really loving that sort of like neck detailing. Just Henley necks for me personally over polo necks. Okay, so the next thing that I'm really loving and gravitating towards and really on the hunt for is a specific colour, and that is a dark green colour. I don't know when this started in my mind. I mean, we have a dark green wall in our living room, so I mean, I'm looking at dark green every single day, but I'm really gravitating towards the dark green colour, particularly in knitwear. And I'd really like to find like a chunky green jumper. I kind of have an idea in my head, although I've not really seen one. The thing that I've seen closest, and I don't know if this is what spurred it in my mind, is the green jumper that Conrad wears in the Christmas episode of Summer I Turned Pretty. Oh yeah, just like a dark green, like a forest green. I really love. I did my wardrobe clear out recently, and if you watch those videos you would have seen, especially when I did my tops, I had a couple of green tops that I tried on and I really loved the colour on me. I really feel like green goes with my skin tone and my hair tone. It's definitely a colour that I'm gravitating more towards. And yeah, I'm really on the hunt for a big, thick, chunky knit jumper. I do feel like that is something I can find secondhand, because I do kind of want that vintage wool feel to it. So yeah, I'm definitely on the lookout for a dark green jumper. Okay, and then the next thing I feel like comes around every autumn, but it's something that I've personally not gravitated towards for a couple of years. But this year I'm really drawn to, and that is flannels, particularly like a thick checked flannel. It's kind of a personal thing, but for me, I used to wear, like I said, I used to wear flannels a lot when I was younger, so I feel like it's something that I incorporate with my younger style, which I think is why I didn't really wear them that much for the past few years. But this year I've seen a couple, and I just really like the idea of getting a couple more flannels. Again, I feel like this is something I could definitely find secondhand, and it's probably better to find secondhand because I do want like a good quality like cotton one, not like a thin shirt material. I mean like a cotton cozy flannel. I really love that idea. Just give that kind of cozy vibe, like that sort of cabin feel, you know, just like throwing on a flannel, either like buttoning it up and wearing it as a top, or wearing it almost like a jacket, or as a layering piece like underneath a jacket. And yeah, I just really gravitating back towards flannels this year. I don't know what it is. I don't know what's reignited this spark in me for a flannel. It's definitely something I'm going to be on the hunt for. I definitely think I will stick to more darker tones. I've always gravitated towards more darker tones for flannels. I feel like they're a thing every year, but for me I just haven't really gravitated towards them for a few years. So yeah, I definitely think I want to add another one or two to my wardrobe, because like I said, I do already have one, which is like dark blue. I feel like they're almost like quite comfortable, like getting cozy. Like it's almost like being able to wear a blanket outside, but like in a fashionable way. And yeah, I'm just really gravitating back towards flannels. Okay, and then the last two things I want to mention are both accessories. One of them I feel like I have mentioned maybe in a summer video, I don't know, but it is a city style bag. I call them city bags because I think that's what they were called by Balenciaga, and I think it was Balenciaga the brand who had them. But specifically like I will insert pictures, like a leather handbag that's like quite a worn linen leather with like zips and a bit of interesting hardware. Very like Mary Kate and Ashley. I believe they're called Balenciaga city bags. The one that I've got my eye on is the Emerson tote from Free People. I really love the look of this, and I think I will invest in it, not in the bigger one but the smaller one. It's kind of been on my mind for a little while now that I want a new black handbag. I've got a nylon black handbag that I've had for years and I wear all the time, but I kind of just want to update it and get a new one, get a new everyday handbag, because I feel like I've had that one for so long. It kind of reminds me back like 2010s, I want to say, like Miley Cyrus, Vanessa Hudgens, Olsen era. Rebecca Minkoff is always a brand that comes to mind when I think of these sort of bags, because I remember Vanessa Hudgens had like one that was kind of that sort of style in like a wine colour that I used to be obsessed with when I was younger. So yeah, kind of like 2010 style, 2000s, 2010 style, that sort of era. I feel like you're going to understand what I'm getting at, or you're not, and so you're going to need the references to understand. So yeah, just kind of like a bag with hardware. Like I say, I think I will probably go for the Free People Emerson dough. I feel like there's going to be quite a few around, and I don't know if I want to try and like maybe get one second hand or something. And yeah, just kind of the lived in feel. I really like a bag with a lived in feel, like a soft leather, yeah, with a little bit of like fun hardware just to add a little bit of detailing to the bag. Okay, and then the last thing that I want to mention is mules, particularly leather mules, especially now that we're coming into autumn winter. I just really love the look of a mule. I really love an easy shoe, a shoe that I can just slip on. And I feel like as I'm getting older, I'm gravitating away from trainers, and I have my loafers which I wear like all the time. I feel like I want a new like everyday shoe, something that's a little bit more dressy than a trainer, and I feel like a leather mule really gives that look. I've seen a couple of around. Like I said earlier, there was a snake print mule on H&M that I really like the look of. I did get some Tom's shoes, which I'll insert a picture. And they're kind of like a mule. They have got a sling back strap, which makes them a little bit more comfortable and a little bit more easy to walk in. But yeah, I just really like the look of a little mule. Even one with like a slight heel I think would be nice. Only like a small heel I think would be really nice just for like an everyday wear. I don't know, I feel like I tend to start gravitating towards a slightly smarter shoe in the autumn. Like I wear my loafers all the time. We're going to start getting into boot season, and I just don't tend to wear a lot of trainers in the autumn time. I feel like I gravitate more towards a leather shoe. So yeah, I really am loving the look of a mule, and I think it's something that I want to invest in. But I think it is something that I would have to maybe go like invest a little bit more money in, because I feel like you want them to be comfortable and be able to stay on your feet. That's the only thing with a mule, is they can be a little bit difficult to walk in. That's kind of everything that I want to mention in this video. I did actually do one of these last year, which I will link in the cards if you want to watch that, because I actually rewatched that before filming this, and a lot of those things still stand. Like I think I mentioned a car coat trench in that video, and I still want one of those. I mentioned suede jackets last year, and I've got a suede jacket that I will be wearing all the time this autumn. I feel like there are a lot of things that just come back around, especially in autumn time. I feel like autumn and spring we always get a lot of the same trends, like recycle every year. But these are just some of the things that I'm gravitating towards specifically for this year. But yeah, that is it for this video. I really hope you enjoyed it. Like I said at the beginning, if you did enjoy this video, I'd love it if you give it a thumbs up, and let me know in the comments below what you're loving for autumn in your wardrobe. If you're new to my channel, I'd love it if you could subscribe, and I will see you all next week for a brand new one. Goodbye.